Welcome to the Middle Classholes, where three middle-class friends discuss their lives, current events, fun facts, and whatever else comes to mind. Alan, the salesman, Murr, the postman, and Wes, the project manager, giving your take as middle-class assholes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Middle Classholes.
I don't even know. Hold that.
Hold that.
Well, yeah, it's got to be said sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta say it, sometimes you don't. I found out something kind of fascinating. I was kind of, simmering on this on the way to work this morning. I realized that in less than, 8 months, I went from having the most liberal car in America to the most conservative vehicle apparently ever stamped out in an American car company. It's fucking wild, dude. We're living on a roller coaster, and it's not a fun one. It's just that one that makes you shit your pants and throw up as soon as you get off. I don't know what we're doing here, boys. They're burning Tesla factories. They're shooting up dealerships. And it's weird because it's not the ones that you think that have the guns. It's the other ones. It's topsy-turvy. It's fucking cats living with dogs. It's America, baby. We're on a collision course with ourselves.
Idiocracy. Here we come, baby.
Yeah,
the
owner of the company that I work for has one of those. It's not a truck. What is that thing?
The dumpster.
The dumpster. Yes,
the rolling dumpster.
The stainless steel contraption.
Yeah, he has one.
He was talking to a younger coworker of mine who was like, basically, he was acknowledging the fact that it's depreciated in value over the last, I don't know.
Yeah.
When did this start? A month? And he was like,
it's a car.
I did it to myself. What's that?
Yeah. I said, well, it's a car. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's depreciated like almost half its value.
Sure, but I think has Tesla not taken a nosedive in the last 2 weeks?
Everything's taken a nosedive in the last.
Also, those things are just fucking hilarious. Like, they're just wild to me.
Okay, so I've seen several of them now around town. And when people go get the wrap job done on them, they can look good.
Kind of cool. Yeah, that's fair.
Except from the ass end. There's no fixing that ass end. It's like staring at a fucking perfectly square belt buckle driving down the fucking road. A bad belt buckle at that. It's just there's no fixing that ass. Unless they redesign the ass, there's no fixing the ass. But the other problem too, the stainless steel, I don't know. Everything shiny looks good out of the box. You give it a day in the fucking elements, and you're gonna get like a little warped like ding in there somewhere. Your eye's gonna catch it. You get that wrap job, and you let the automatic air shocks like lower it to the ground. It looks like a future. Looks like he wanted it to look like. But man, right out the box, it's interesting.
And aren't they just generally giant pieces of shit? Like, aren't they like kind of not well made? From what I've seen, even Tesla fanboys I've seen being like, "Ooh, well, this is rough."
I'll say this: like all the aesthetic trim and stuff like that is fucking shady. Yeah. The rest of it, like the actual internal working parts and like what it's capable of, is still like top tier. But the accoutrement is shit.
Well, that's why I'm just saying. I keep seeing them caught in like a foot of snow and shit, and I'm like, so are they good for what they're supposed to be good for, or what are they supposed to be for exactly?
I can't speak for a foot of snow or the elements or ATV and anything like that. There's a younger guy, 24, 25, who has a Tesla, a garden variety model, who is occasionally tasked with driving the boss's car for various stuff, and he has said like, Jesus Christ, it's my car's insane, and this is insane times this insane squared, insane pi, not pi.
Yeah.
What is it with the little 3 over it? What is it to the third degree?
That's cubed.
Yes. No, I mean they're as big as an F-150 and as fast as a Porsche, so they got that going for them. I have not seen. I've seen off-road stuff with them, and they look like they're capable. Maybe not as capable as advertised, but more capable than your like Toyota 4Runner or something like that. But
I don't think so. I think that's actually a terrible comparison. I don't know. If you had been like a Jeep, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. Jeeps are pieces of shit too. But
like a standard Jeep.
Standard. I mean, if you get a standard like Rubicon Jeep, like you might be talking.
I'm talking about
a
like
nice
Jeep,
Rubicon,
like a Jeep Wrangler. I've been on a beach with one of those and was like fucking floored at how well it did. And I was like, we're stuck.
Just a regular ass one, or like a really nice one.
No, this is like the when you could take
with the wheels and the top.
T-tops, take the
top
off.
Like look up a stock one and then look at the one that you were in. That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
okay.
There are two.
You know what I mean?
The one I have that's rotting in my driveway now. It's not the top of the line, but it's not the bottom of the line. And I know that when we had a blizzard a couple years ago, I put that fucker in just 4-wheel drive low, and they had plowed, and I had about 4.5 feet of snow, like above the bumper, and the bumper on that thing's like 3 feet tall, and I just kept fucking driving. It didn't fart.
So, in a weird twist of fate, one of the best vehicles I've ever been in to brave the elements was a Toyota Tacoma. Now, I'm not so sure if this was. It was equal parts machine and equal parts stupidity behind the wheel. Because the driver was a friend of mine who was monumentally dumb. And his idiocracy fed into his bravery. We may or may not have made crop circles with it once. And it came out the other end just...
Listen, man, they don't mount fucking machine guns to them in the desert for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a hardy little fucking truck. Like that's like one of those trucks that kind of like teaches you that's like we don't need F-350s, we don't need 3500s. You see what they haul shit around with in like France? They're like circus cars. They're like circus trucks. It's ridiculous. They're like car front cabs with small flatbeds, but that's how they do like all of their moving. It's wild.
I don't remember what podcast host I was listening to, but he purposely went out and like he saw like several videos of like the War on Terror and like all of like Al Qaeda was driving that same fucking white Toyota truck. So he's like, I need one of those.
Yeah.
What model is that? I don't even know if it was sold in America at the time, but he got himself a version and was just like, fuck it, you can light it on fire and drop a crate of fucking cinder blocks in the back. It's still gonna turn over.
Nah, I think I told you guys I was looking at one, and me and my buddy were talking. My buddy was like, "I will absolutely weld you a gun mount on that motherfucker." I was like, "Yes." But I want the one. So like before, I think it's not until like the early '90s. I want to say it was like '92, '93 or something that they became Tacomas. Before that, they were just Toyota trucks. Like they didn't really have like names or like model numbers. Like every now and then you would get like a type something because it's Japanese and shit. But like,
who made the Dakota?
Dodge.
Yeah.
That was okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Damn it. But yeah, I'm trying to get me one of those.
Check this out. I learned
sand buggies.
I learned this from a Toyota Tacoma owner and driver. They said I don't know if it was last year or it's recent, within the last 2 or 3 years, they stopped making the V6. Now it's like the 4-cylinder. I think they have a turbo or something, but it pissed a lot of enthusiasts off. Now the old V6s, which they don't make anymore, are like the value's going up. So look out for that.
I could see that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, why
they're trying to get you to get a 4Runner or a fucking Tundra
or a Cybertruck.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I tell you, listen. By the time I'm done with my Model 3, and if they've done I'm gonna get a Cybertruck, but I didn't really want the first version because he always got, like you said, Alan, like they're gonna peel the fucking trim off because it's got fucking rubber cement holding it on there and all that horse shit. Let them fucking dial it in, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be. He's not gonna make the next one worse than the first one. I guess that's my point, and people need to look. I guess back to the original point of where we started here. It's like, it's amazing that either the personality or the politics of the person has completely upended like the personality of the vehicle you're driving. Like that's it. Where we're living in wild times, I guess is my point, is where people's opinions of other humans apparently determine like the quality of a product. Like watching them mock him for like his Starship like blowing up. Like, these are test flights. This is what he's landed a couple of them, not well, but they have come back in one piece. He blows up 2 in a row, and they're like, why don't you maybe go back to your day job? It's like, who the fuck else in this world's going to put us on Mars if that's what we want to do? Like, there isn't anybody. So just...
Not even him.
Maybe not, but right now...
definitely not.
If you went down the list of who's capable of pulling it off, I think it's a list of one at this point.
I think nobody, until we learn how to terraform, nobody's capable of pulling it off.
Well, we had this this private company land on the moon recently, right? We talked about it. I don't even know. It's a start. They called it a startup, but I think that's just kind of a glorified name for it. I don't even know the name of the company.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's like called like Blue Ghost is the name of the thing that landed on the moon.
My
point is irrelevant. Maybe Blue Ghost ends up being dog shit. Maybe it's. Is it from American Gangster? Yeah, call it blue dog shit. But you got to drive competition, right? There's people that want to do this, and if Elon's not the first, at least he's like kind of pushing the envelope towards people and money. Like, okay, yeah, let's design something better. Let's make it happen. Let's get up there. Let's get to Mars. Let's die on Mars.
He's also lowered.
Let's have sex on Mars.
That's gold, probably number 3. Let's get something there. Let's get someone there. Let's get someone else there, and let's get something else going down there. But he's lowered like the ability to put stuff in space by like 10x because of the ability to catch the rockets and stuff. So like we got that going for us. I don't know. I wish we could just separate these things. Like you can hate like someone's like opinions on issues and such, but like just recognize like what is good about this? And this is all American shit. And as far as that Blue Ghost thing landing on the moon, not to shit on another country, but there are lesser countries that have flown. You know, India got something up there. Chinese get stuff up there. This
private sector. Everything before that's been government ran.
Correct.
This is so. I mean, maybe I'm foolish in thinking that that's a leap, one small leap for the private sector. But here's a great example for you, Andrew. You say like hate the person, but like the product. You ready for this?
Sure.
The soup Nazi. That guy was terrible. He was
Absolutely.
awful. He's a piece of shit. Everyone in the cast and everyone hated him. God, he made good soup.
Yeah, and you ran the risk of being insulted and banished from his establishment. And this was a real person. This was not based on this was not a created character per se. Maybe embellished his hair, but that was a real guy in New York that they based it on, and everybody lined up around the block for the soup.
Oh man, to be fair, I worked at a deli that was very popular near UMBC, and if you fucked around lunchtime, you get your ass told to get the fuck out, like real quick. I did it. My boy Alex did it. Like it was run by a bunch of Koreans, and they did that shit on the regular. Like, yeah, the food's very good. This place is humming. One or two of you being a moron doesn't matter. Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Well, that's how apparently. You got Geno's and Pat's in Philly. Who's got like the brick wall fucking facade, and who's got like the Chuck E. Cheese establishment?
I've never been to either one.
Yeah, well, the original one, I guess it's Pat's. If you took too long to order, like homeboy would be like, next, and he'd just shove you aside. Yeah. Like, you don't know how to say whiz, then get the fuck on the back of the line. Learn on your way back to the starting block.
Wes, have you ever been to Ann's over in Glen Burnie by like Marlow Station Mall? It's Ann's Dairy Cream, which is a strange fucking name for a place. But it's been around since like the fucking 40s or some shit. And they make like bomb ass fucking milkshakes and things of that nature. But they also make amazing like cheesesteaks and cheeseburger subs and fucking like foot long hot dogs is kind of their thing. And yeah, it's phenomenal. But it's literally 2 doors, and you walk in, and if you walk in one side or you walk in another, you're separated by a fucking metal bar. Fucking handrail, and you just cycle through. You go up, you yell your shit at some white ladies, and they don't write a goddamn thing down, and then you move along to the side, and they're like, here's your shit, pay your money, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's beautiful. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But those places are fucking great, and I'm totally fine with the way that they operate. Get the fuck out.
We'll play a little game. So I played a round of golf today. Derek brought 3 subs from a really, really good place in Elkton called Sonny's, SONNYS. Okay, he brought 3, but a hot Italian. So it was an Italian cold cut, but it had the long hot peppers that went across the entire sandwich. He brought a chopped Italian, so they put everything down. They chop it to bits, put it on the sub, and then it was a chicken cutlet with broccoli raw. What's your guesses? Take your guesses. What was the first one? I ate all 3 of them. Not when we cut them into quarters. But what did I go for first?
Who did you go for first?
I say you went for the one with the hot peppers on it.
Yeah, probably.
You guys know me too well. Yep. Yeah. God damn. And it was phenomenal. The sesame seed crispy bun. Oh man.
See? And I would have went with
they couldn't
chicken.
do
that chicken and broccoli rabe.
That was phenomenal. That was so good.
It's a good thing. They're that limoncello up the street here does the version of that.
So
pretty
good.
Tasty.
Mur, that's something you need to. Have you had a sandwich or a sub with broccoli raw on it?
I have no idea what that is. I just assumed that was an Egyptian god of delicatessen.
He's also pronouncing it wrong. It's broccoli rabe. But it's RABE is how you spell it.
Oh, broccoli rabe.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? Broccoli based. I'm sure.
It's like. Yeah, it's like
it's cooked.
I'd say it's like down. Yeah, so that's typically sautéed, obviously. But I'd say it's like more stem, more leaf, not as much bud as like broccoli. Does that check out? Does that make sense? Do you understand which parts of the broccoli?
I eat broccoli every day. I know what a fucking broccoli head looks like, and I know what a stem looks like.
Well, I'm just making sure that we're on the same page of like what parts I'm saying mean what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but it's sautéed broccoli, like mixed with what?
What do you mean mixed with what? Well, sometimes it's mixed with like garlic, a little bit of onion, like when it's sautéed, and like it's sautéed in olive oil, salt, pepper, obviously that kind of shit. You can also Google this. There's like pictures of it prepared.
Yeah, but
you can see.
It's a texture thing, and it's the green. It's the green of the sub, especially when you do it with a deep fried chicken cutlet.
Yeah, it really balances out. It really balances out the health features of the sandwich.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that like olive oil is the healthier choice. You know, if it's like an old school Italian place, it's probably butter.
Of all the oils you're going to shove into your body, yes. That of the olive, probably number 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could be butter, which, good and bad.
I know the place he got it from. I know where it is. It's like, it must be good if people are going there to get it. That's all I can tell you. Location. If the location ain't good, the fucking subs better be great. So it sounds like they have a fine product.
Dude, like, prefer to go into shadier places for food.
That's true. Best fucking Hispanic food I ever had was in fucking that circle in fucking Georgetown, Delaware, just middle of nowhere. You left the United States as soon as you took the 3rd exit off the roundabout. You were in Guadalajara. Just fucking, you go inside, they had a sheet, like a literal bed sheet with fucking like patterns on it, like separating the cash register from the kitchen. And just black grease on the ceiling, a standard tube television on the fucking game show network in Spanish on the fucking wall, and then
Right.
Chairs they stole from a fucking like elementary school fire sale.
Sounds like a good time.
It's great.
Game shows being hosted by some beautiful dime with a derriere that you can only imagine. You can only see it in a game show.
That and a really handsy, like 60-year-old Latino dude, but yeah.
Right, yeah. Who insists on dancing after every round. Come here. Yeah. Middle Classholes, everyone. Foxman, Alan, and Murr. What do we have? The clock's ticking. We got a government shutdown. Or is it going to get extended, right? I heard that it's supposed to be September, maybe.
I don't fucking know anymore, dude.
Yeah,
dude,
whatever.
And again,
Shut it down.
The news literally changes every 20 minutes now. Like, I mean, again, whatever your opinions are of Trump, like the exactly what the fuck is going on? No, it's I mean, at the beginning of the presidency, like the first week or so, it was like they would go on the air and report something and start breaking it down, and then half an hour later, be like, never mind. Like that was the whole newscast.
I think they're still doing it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that's why everyone has tuned out.
Like America has imposed tariffs on Canada, and then how bad is this? Why is this bad? Then 20 minutes later, like the tariffs have been canceled. Tomorrow night we'll see you. You know, like the whole show is nothing. It's almost like he's doing it as a fucking troll just to get back at the mainstream news networks. It's kind of awesome, kind of not.
Is it? Nice I was like, I don't know that it is.
I thought it was awesome before like the stock market said like we don't know what the fuck's going on. We're keeping all of our money.
Yeah,
right where it is.
It's never
in
good.
Our pockets where you can't touch it.
Buy, sell. Actually, don't sell. Just hold it. For how long? Yeah,
maybe noon, and then sell it all again by 1.
Yeah. So I could the business that I'm in. If it shuts down, I'm basically going to be sitting at my computer desk for 8 hours a day doing nothing.
For a little while.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, the rumor mill is it's going to get extended till September, and then it'll be then they figure out a deal. I don't even know what deal they're looking for.
They usually figure it out.
They
usually figure it out, and then even if they don't, it's like a week max, and they're like, okay, psych, right. we can figure it out. We can come to a deal here. You know what I mean? So whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
When are we getting up to? Aren't we getting close to a point where they have a break where they don't go into? They all disperse from DC, and it's kind of like a seasonal.
That's like every 2 weeks or something.
And they have their little spring session will be over here soon, and then I know they always do this. They wait till the 12th hour on the last day, and then they're like, "We got it done. We'll see you next. We'll see you in a month.
We're gonna go play softball." Fucking stupid asses.
Softball. I'd love to watch a softball game with a bunch of congressmen and congresswomen.
Dude, they do it every
year. You remember that dude got shot? Did the guy get killed?
Yeah, Scalia got fucking maimed. He didn't get killed. Like he's still fucked up from it. But yeah, they fucking shot him up on the ball field.
On the ball field, baby.
It's hard-nosed softball, man. These guys know how to play. That's
it.
You can still have collisions at the plate. You can still break up double plays. That's how I like it. It's like the old days.
The old days. I mean, yeah, if they were using like smooth bore flintlock pistols, then yeah, it'd be a little more sporting. But you going out there with an AR, attacking from the shortstop position, yeah, not a good kind of.
Nah, if I get a early lead off first, and if that senator from Nebraska is on second base trying to turn that 6-4-3, he's getting it. He's getting cleats.
You better call a fucking orthopedic surgeon because that ankle's toast.
Yeah,
blowing that shit up.
You know what he could orthopedics in Omaha or Lincoln, where the fuck you live. All right, folks. Tonight we got a very exciting, brand new segment for you. If you're privy to it, you're lying. Or you're a space traveler, Murr, right? You don't know. Tonight is Murr and kind of Alan's brainchild in Mystery Science Theater 3000. And this is called Break It Down. This is where we watch a segment and then we discuss it, we talk about it, we break it down. And then it gets dicier. Sorry, I'm doing like 4 things at once.
Is that how we're bringing in the music? We could just bring in the music, you know. We could probably just play it.
Well,
we'd have to credit it. We'd have to credit it when you post it. But
yeah, Wes is worried about royalty-free WWE theme songs, so he thought that he could bypass the law by playing it through the microphone instead of through his computer.
That's still going to get us flagged anyway.
He said I told him that one time, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It doesn't sound
we
accurate.
were drinking. You definitely said it. All right. Tonight on Break It Down, we have these collegiate sprinters, one of which bashes the other in the head with a baton. I'm going to bring this up. We're going to try to walk the listeners via the podcast on. Let's see here.
It's very visual. You gotta get your asses on YouTube and TikTok. And
that's right. You guys familiar with this?
All right. I totally am.
I've watched it. Looks like the second or third leg. And
look at this bitch.
She goes down the heat.
Get out the way.
Okay, so for anybody that's just listening, they're coming around the turn. They're in a relay race, so they're holding the batons. The inside track is getting ready to get beat by the outside track, which, if you know anything about track and field, that means the outside runner is moving much quicker than the inside runner.
Correct.
And she seems like her baton starts to get caught on her arm, but then as the lady's passing, she just hauls off and whacks her on fucking top of the dome. Now, from what I understand, concussion, possibly fractured skull with that, and aluminum batons are oh so light, yet oh so metal.
Oh so strong. Yeah. That's aluminum's claim to fame is lightweight and sturdy. Fucking.
That's right.
Wow. Yeah. No. She definitely was like, this bitch. They have a grudge too. Like, they've raced each other before. You know what I mean? That wasn't just casual violence.
I wanted to.
I was like, not again.
Was this high school or collegiate level? Do we remember?
I don't even know.
It's high school.
Okay. Yeah. So they definitely raced against each other. Yeah. There's only like 5 people that do what they do. You know what I mean? In the county. You know, they definitely have raced each other.
Indoor 4x2. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
You witnessed half the state there.
Okay, and then the follow-up to that is no one from the opposing team came over and checked on her. The girl that whacked her didn't fucking apologize, nothing. And so she has subsequently released a video of her own explaining her side of the story. And, I mean, it's already good, right? You can already
it's so good. I haven't seen this either.
All right, so let's break this one down.
I would never hit somebody on purpose. There's no awful when after a couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit.
This bitch. Stop lying.
My character calling me ghetto, racist slurs,
well,
death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video. Everybody has feelings.
I mean,
so,
that was definitely.
You're just hurt, but you're not.
I've seen less turn in some people's golf swings than what she took in that windup. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, can you mute it and play it again here? Because and really like pause it like right at the top of the we'll call it the whack job here.
Because top of the whack job,
right there. That's a great angle. Okay,
that is a good shot.
Let's look at this here. So you say you're just on your next pump. Because your arm got stuck at the first time. The fact that she's got the baton behind her own ear, she's pointing at the sky, cross body, which means that left shoulder of hers is really building up some kinetic energy.
I don't know about you guys, but when I run competitively, I tend to flail my arms like so. It really gets me going. For a good burst of speed at the end. Yeah, this bitch whacked the shit out of her. She could cry all the crocodile tears she wants.
Okay. Well, I do want to say if in fact she has received death threats and racial slurs, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Not okay.
Those people are pieces of shit, and you should rot in hell. This reminds me
there are plenty of other things to make fun of her for.
Correct. I do. This reminds me of when Roger Clemens caught a bit of Mike Piazza's bat, then threw the bat back at him and said, "I thought it was the ball."
It was the ball.
I don't know.
Yeah. But nothing. See, the thing is, though, with that, nothing happened. With had he hit Piazza and said the same dumb shit, then it'd be an issue. But no harm, no foul in that situation. Look, I mean, I got to give her some points for the brazen bullshit. There are multiple angles of this. No point does it look as though. Does it look anything relative to what she's saying happened? At 0 point.
Yeah. Agreed. Look at that. She's just winding back. She winds back. Look at this one. Yeah, look at that. Actually, that one looks a little bit more natural. But from the front, it doesn't matter. The front's fucking... It's over.
Well, the only thing the back does is show that the baton, like, nipped under her armpit on the way up.
Kind of got, like, caught. Yeah.
But at no point have if my baton got caught, would it go up even further? And then my body, somehow, this part of my body twists this way to come back down in a flail.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen. But my question to you guys is this, because I hear that there could be, like, charges brought against her, like assault with a deadly weapon, battery and all that. My question really comes down to this, though. When it happens in the arena of sport, not saying that there should be zero consequences, but should the consequences be minimalized because of the nature of competition?
It seems like that's been the status quo since sports. I mean, guys, Juan Marichal went out with a bat and went to attack a pitcher. Hockey,
that's definitely,
for God's sakes, the guys have been getting whacked with sticks and and I'm worse than this. You know, Marty McSorley fucking rendering that one guy for 6 months, more or less.
Yeah, I would say like criminally, there's probably a little bit of like leniency here. Now, civilly, can they sue that bitch and her family for like all the medical damages and all that? Absolutely, it's America, baby. But yeah, I feel weird. Like, she should have just been like, listen, my 16, 17, 18-year-old brain short-circuited for a second. I don't like this broad. We race each other all the time. And she nicked my baton, and in a fucking moment of anger, I tried to fucking remove her fucking mental capacity. That's all. And I didn't entirely. She's clearly injured. I apologize. But
yeah.
I definitely whacked this bitch in the head. I'm sorry.
Dude, you just, honestly, right there, that's 100%, you nailed it. You apologize by stating the facts, and usually people will be like, I get it, heat of competition. But no, now it's going to become...
Now it's a thing.
Now it's a thing. Now it's on this fucking podcast talking about it. It's going to be broken down on fucking ESPN. Stephen A. Smith is going to say, that is unacceptable. We want to be treated like they say sometimes we act like animals. Well,
he's gonna get ridiculous.
What kind of attitude does the person that does something like this? What would you call this person who hits somebody with a metal pipe? You're an animal. And that's going to be your Stephen A. Smith.
They gave him $100 million. He's about to say some outlandish shit.
Yeah, I think I've watched hundreds, if not thousands, of like either high school or collegiate sports fights. Wrestling is a big one because it's, it is. It's just the nature of the sport. You're fucking lifting another man up and slamming him, and things get heated. Things get wild. Soccer, basketball, what have you. And you're right.
Golf, water polo.
Golf, water polo, equestrian events, band. The band's
disc golf.
Band.
Disc golf,
badminton, fucking racquetball. Have you ever seen squash? We saw those two idiots at the Ivy League fucking go crazy.
Yeah, the pickleball thing, man. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, he did kick another man in the fucking grill.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, there is something to be said, Alan. You're 100% right about, like, I lost it. I don't know if I have a problem, but I tell you, I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and I'm going to figure out whether or not I have anger management issues. I'm really sorry for what I did. I hope that she can accept my apology, and I want to put this behind me. You think those are crocodile tears?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, dude, now you're up against it. You're just trying to get out of it.
Yeah, she's crying because she's caught. She's crying because people are like talking shit, and she doesn't know how to handle it because she has no comeback. I guarantee that specific girl right there has been a good enough athlete in her life and probably goes to a school where she's top shit that she's never had to defend her shitty actions ever. And now she does. And she doesn't know how to cope with it. And so she's breaking the fuck down.
It does happen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is that pun intended? Breaking the fuck down?
Pretty much, yes.
Damn.
100%.
Look at
Dude,
that.
like, I'm trying to think, because I think I left a comment on one of those videos. Like, yeah, I remember when I accidentally spit on a guy because he accidentally grabbed my jersey with both hands and accidentally spun around at 100 miles an hour and flung me about 4 feet. Yeah, I accidentally came up throwing grass and spitting on him. It happens. And that's so Alan's justification holds water to me. Is like, I got tripped up. I was getting beat. Heat of the moment. Whacked her. My bad. Didn't mean to cause a skull fracture and concussion. Yeah. But I don't think we've ever. Okay, let me ask you guys this, because we've all probably been in some fights, especially at sporting events and things. Was your intention to maim the person, or was it just like instinct? I'm going after him. Like, I don't think I've ever thought about the consequences of my intense actions, like, in the moment.
Nah. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. I definitely don't rationalize violence like in the moment.
Intending to cause harm, because I was going to joke around, like my first collegiate soccer game, I had to move back to sweeper because the sweeper got a yellow card, and the striker on an overball, like a chip over, thought he got behind me, and I got in front of him and headed it out, and he accidentally grabbed the back of my jersey and tugged it while I was midair, and I accidentally spun around an elbow, and it accidentally hit him in his forehead. Did I think about possibly fucking really doing some damage on him? No, not at all. I was like, get your fucking hands off me.
Exactly.
And we both got yellows after that.
And that's kind of my point, is like, in a real world situation, if you said to yourself, I'm going to elbow this human square in the forehead, it's because you want to fucking maim him. But in the heat of sports, it's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I think I was in 2 or 3 team fights on the soccer field, 1 indoor, 2 outdoor. And
I was there for the indoor.
Yes, you were. You were kind of because of you actually inadvertently instigated the indoor thing. Not your fault. But
because I was so fucking good.
Okay, so let's use that one specifically because you were there, so you understand. We all just started hitting people. Like, we all just grouped up, and anybody that was available was getting punched from the other team.
Well, that's how it goes.
But it was mutual. But I don't, at no point did I have, like, the Karate Kid put him in a body bag kind of mentality. It was just like, it's a team fight. What do you do in a team fight? You hit people. I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm just fighting.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, like, if you kill somebody in a fight, largely it's it's like involuntary manslaughter because you didn't mean to kill him. You were just fighting, and maybe he took a tumble and hit his head. That's on him, not necessarily on you. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you could have done that fight. If you could have done you'll look up. No one will ever create it, but if on YouTube it was a sound effect of indoor boys soccer fight, it would have been like, and then whistles.
Yeah, just mad whistles. That makes sense.
Yeah, two guys who I don't know were like 28. Oh shit.
Oh, dude. Yeah, well, there was that one fucking turd of a ref, looked like fucking Super Mario, just complete asshole. He would pinpoint like a team that he was like favored for the day, and that was all the way through my high school career. It was like he had it in for like one team, and that team never got a close call. The other team got away with fucking murder, and I remember that game too because they had some guy that was like 6'4", probably 240, just fucking checking people into the boards in an indoor soccer game. So what the fuck are we doing? What do you think's gonna happen? Like, the temperature on the fucking court's at 1,000 degrees right now.
This is a playoff game, man. We are,
dude. We were undefeated too, man. That was like the I think that was the semifinal of the tournament, and we were undefeated. Like we were fucking murdering motherfuckers. We didn't even have a coach. Our coach actually was one of our teammates who he was the only guy who was 18 years old, and so we're like, Tom. You coach? Like, I was just here to watch. Like, yeah, I know, but you're 18 and we need a coach. I was like, all right, I'll do
it. And then Tom started fighting.
Yes.
Tom ran out.
He came on the court. I actually fucking double dragged him.
His shirt ripped to bits.
The guy who had him in a headlock punching him, I double dragon jump kicked him. Like,
double dragon jump kicked him. And then we should have gotten, that could have been filmed And then you could have been like, I'm really sorry. I don't ever intend to double drag and kick. I just play the video game a lot, and something came over me.
I was running, and I stepped on my shoelace, and when I tried to get my feet right, I just happened to fly 3 feet into the air with my leg extended.
I just happened to be in a situation where I could jump and kick someone twice with opposite feet at the same jump. It's never happened.
Nice.
And that is our first segment to break it down. More to come. I don't know if we're going to do. We kick the tires on defending the Hoff. We kick the tires on who do you think you are? I am. But I think that was well picked. I hope it works out for them. I really do. I hope they shake hands, apologize, move on with their lives. I don't want. Maybe if she gets some community service, just rake some leaves in a goddamn community park on some weekends. Learn your lesson, chalk it up, move on.
That chick needs to go to another community where she's maybe like looked down upon and has to suck it up and do favors for people, because she doesn't look like she's helped anybody in her fucking entire life.
Like a couple, serving mashed potatoes at a Thanksgiving. We all done some community
soup
service.
Kitchen. Yeah,
a soup kitchen.
Community service.
Yeah.
Wait, school mandated?
Mandated?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Both, but mandated by 2 institutions.
Your mom and the state of Maryland?
The school and the state of Maryland. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some from the state of Maryland, and we didn't tell the school, and then I counted them for both. So I knocked out my high school community service because Mr. Maryland told me I had to do it in the first place. So
they didn't line up.
Yeah,
they didn't line up for me like that. That would have been nice. Also, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was all 4 years but I think at least the first 2, they bust you to the soup kitchen. It wasn't voluntary. Gotcha. You know what I mean? I guess if you were sick, maybe, but yeah, they were taking your ass down there to serve some bread and shit.
We're gonna chit beef gravy this out of your community service hours.
That's what I was gonna ask. What did you do for your community service, Alan? Was it soup kitchen?
So the one time it was soup kitchen because from high school I was like, well, this is easy. I remember doing it and I was like, I know this is a fucking walk in the park. And then the other time they actually sent me to some fucking, I don't know, some warehouse, county warehouse, and it was me and 4 bros, and we were just shredding old county documents, which is probably illegal in some sense. I don't even know.
Wow.
Look, that was our community service, man. And I think we got 2 hours for every one, so it was kind of nice. It was double time. It was some shady shit, but hey, the county gave it to us. So hey,
we were down hall, and they just told us to shred everything in the building. I don't know.
This is absolutely fascinating. 4, 5 high school boys doing required community service as part of their civic duty for high school, sent down to the county to shred documentation. Yeah. Beautiful. God, that doesn't. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
I know.
Oozes.
Yeah, just outside of were you in Baltimore at the time?
It's a county that's not Baltimore.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So by the time I got you're talking about the required
just for community
hours,
service, either one, both.
Well, but mind you, by the time I got to high school, they did away with that because jackasses like yourselves ruined it. Okay, no one's doing the 75 hours. So, but when I was in middle school, we used to play. We would perform I was in the middle school band. We would perform like holiday things for certain groups, and that would count towards it. I also, when I joke around, I got arrested in middle school, and I had to volunteer my entire Christmas break after I had gotten arrested by, but this was mandated by Mom and Pop Fox, and I had to sit around at a day treatment center at a veterans hospital from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. while all my friends are chilling on Christmas. Not on Christmas though, but every other day.
Would you play Monopoly with the patients?
Pool, paint by numbers, bingo. I talked to them a little bit. Well, they talked to me. Told me some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hell yeah,
that could
they
actually
did.
be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like as an adult now, I feel like I want to go do it and be like, hey,
Listen,
tell me about that time you saw Kennedy. Tell me about it.
Yeah, the first time around, it's fun. The 67th time around,
Yeah.
same story. It's again repetitive. It's like the same song, and they don't know that they've told you this 67 times. Like, hey, you're new. Have I tell you about this time I was in Nam? Like, fuck. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, mine was the guy I got in trouble with. His mom was a horse lady, so she liked to go down to the horse place, and so she got us down there to do our volunteer work. She said, this is all she said. She's like, you guys are going to be helping them at the horse farm. Like, what are we doing? You're going to be washing the horses, brushing the horses, and you're going to be walking the handicapped around for horseback rides. You're like, oh, all right. And then I didn't realize that it was not physically handicapped individuals, it was mentally handicapped individuals, which is a different... let me tell you, man, you don't want to look at each other in the eyes when you're walking someone who's mentally handicapped around with a horse, okay? There's noises that are being made. Any eye contact will break you down into laughter like you have never fucking felt before. Your stomach will make contortions that you didn't know were available to it. It's a thing.
God,
Damn.
that's. I don't know if I should.
Sounds crazy.
I did tell the story. I'm going to tell the story. It was when I was substitute teaching, and it was an elementary school mentally handicapped class, but there was like 5 other teachers, and they said, oh, it's mandated that there's 4 other teachers. It's mandated that we're supposed to have 5. I was like, even if it's a sub, like I'm doing nothing here. It's a half day, and like it's the law. And then so it's like 4 hours of. So I was basically sitting in the corner doing nothing, and then this song and dance came on, and they were holding hands going in a circle, and one of them comes up to me and puts their hand out, and I was like, oh, they want you to get in there. So I'm hand in hand with an 8-person circle going to ring around the Rosie. And then I'm like, yay, Mr. Fox, he's here. I was like, oh God, this is not worth $42 fucking dollars. Jesus.
$42 for the day?
Well, it's a half day. I missed out on the first half because I was hungover.
It's still
I answered that.
$84 ain't really fucking selling me, dude.
I answered that call at 11 a.m., buddy. Get here by noon. Yeah, I'll be there. They want some trousers. Get on down to the elementary school.
$42. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would pay them double to not come. I'd be like, no, here you go. Here's $84. Give it to some other idiot.
Yeah, it was like, and it's all automated. It's like you have a potential job for elementary special education. I was like, wait, what? And it was right down the street from my house. I was like, all right, yeah, and hilarity unfolded. Yeah, God, I thought I had something else in mind. Yeah, and Alan, we can't forget about our trip to the Salvation Army and our good deed for collecting funds out in front of the food line at Frostburg State University.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, that was quite the adventure. You're standing out front of a Goodwill in fucking LaVale, I guess. Is it still Frostburg at that point?
Yeah, who knows? I actually love the story where Merv was like, "Was there like an official? Was there someone from the Salvation Army who was like handling all of this?" And I was like, I suspect. I don't know.
We reported back to someone. And by we, I mean somebody in the fraternity, not me.
I wasn't really a decision guy.
Yeah. I was just all stoned, hanging out, freezing outside.
Yeah.
Good
you guys
times.
told me I had to do this in order to black out at the party on Friday. Christ.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how that went.
And I've told you guys about the volunteer work I did where I used to drive veterans home down Aiken Avenue for just simply all they had to do was buy me a 30-pack of beer before I took them back.
That's right. Andrew helped out United States military veterans from and reducing their steps from 10,000 to 100 to a local liquor store so they could buy booze. And they
I
would
gave
also
them the
buy
money.
booze.
Yeah, I gave them money for it. It all worked out. Everyone was happy.
You should have chalked that up as something like voluntary hours. Courier.
Veteran courier.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I think it's time for some fun facts.
Let's get to it. Let's break open the Ripleys. Believe it or not. Time. Warp. Two. For 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Brought to you, of course, by our good friend, the Cuckster. The Cuckster all over the place now. The Cuckster's got himself a brand new home. He calls it the Tick of the Talk. You can find Cuckster on TikTok at Cuckster for Life. That's Cuckster for Life on TikTok. And go to the original site on Instagram. Let's get to it. 5 facts for you. Did you know The Wizard of Oz, the movie, was released a few days before World War II began in 1939?
It did.
Man, a world premiere. And then, God, why didn't they fly in the monkeys into combat?
Into Normandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Could have wrapped that Pepe up quickly. Yeah. I guess, I guess in California at that point, you weren't exactly, I mean, you knew a world war was happening, but it just, it was a world away.
What day did it premiere?
It doesn't say the day. It just says a few days before. But I mean, again, that's when it started over there. Before we gave a shit. It wasn't until 42 that we really cared too much about what was going on overseas. But have either of you two read the book, The Wizard of Oz?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's a different tale, my friends. It's kind of
I've heard that.
Ironic that it's all about workers' rights and communism, fascism, socialism, all that. Every character is based, and then whoever got their hands on it was like, let's just make it a whimsical tale about a girl with some ponytails dragged into a mass magical land. Yeah, they all represent something very, very sociologically serious.
Yeah.
And then you get the movie, and it's like, and by the way, it wasn't a hit. It wasn't a hit until I think the 60s or 70s. It took it 20, 30 years to fucking take off, and then. I mean, I don't know a kid alive or dead, bleak, that hasn't seen the fucking Wizard of Oz. I mean, we're talking about a movie that's going to be 100 years old and not too terribly long down the road.
Yeah, and then what's-her-face became a junkie, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Lots of pills, dude. And it's Liza Minnelli's mom. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Judy Garland. Yeah.
Did not.
Yeah.
Why didn't she go with the Garland name?
I think it was kind of tainted towards the end there. And she wanted to forge her own path too,
Yeah. I'm not Liza Minnelli's a cool name. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's I think that's pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
My 42 years old lingo.
But Judy Garland, man, there was something. You talk about a first crush growing up but man, once she hit 30, cuz you got to remember 30 in the 40s and 50s was 60 now, especially when you start fucking eating barbiturates with fucking milk in the morning. Went downhill real quick.
That whole milk, just wash it down.
A little raw milk and barbiturates.
Glug glug. Yeah. You don't need any sleep. 4 hours, 3 hours tops. You're good.
Did you know? During the time of the dinosaurs, a day was approximately 23 hours long, not 24.
Shit, 23. So does that, if the math is mathin', down the road it's going to be a little bit longer? Or is that...
I don't know. I would imagine, well, you got to think, too, if,
sun's expanding.
Well, if a meteor hit the Earth hard enough to kill everything on it, basically...
It might have pushed it off its axis a tick. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then maybe it sped up, slowed down. The continental drift, maybe we've evened things out a little bit. Things were a little wobbly back then. God knows. Only God knows.
Yeah, and if Andrew Murr was living when that happened, he'd be like, there should just be a 23-hour clock. Forget the time zones, all right? 23 hours, wherever you are.
I still stand by this, and by the way...
A T-Rex in Australia should be able to talk to Triceratop in Colorado. I'm sorry, dude.
That's fine. No, that's okay. Because I thought about this the other day because I was actually fascinated because we're getting back into that whole like daylight saving time. Like, do we keep it? Do we go it? Do we fall back and then stop it? Do we stay springing forward and then we stop it? Where do we stop it? What do we do? You know, there are countries around the. Here's the thing, and Alan. I don't know what research
you said. There's countries. There's states in the United States that don't adhere to it.
Exactly. So how Alan? How, based on your logic, are we still functioning as a society?
I wasn't listening to the last part. So, what's the root of this? Sorry.
I was reading some countries don't do daylight saving time anymore. Some countries just keep their clocks year round. There's like half of Arizona doesn't shift. So, like,
I mean, Indiana, I think that it's Central Eastern.
Yeah, that don't do it.
So, I mean, my God, like, what do you do?
Well, hold on. Adjusting an hour to or fro isn't exactly just like it's everywhere around the globe is the same time.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is if you had it my way, I know exactly what time it is in fucking Arizona right now.
It doesn't make sense.
And so would a T-Rex in Pangea.
It does not make any sense.
Because me looking up what time it is in South Korea right now is the same as it being the same time right now in South Korea, to where I go, probably not a good time of day to call them. Or actually, right now would be the perfect time of day to call them. Oh, look, it's dark here, means they're awake there.
Yeah, that's not how this works, bro. We've gone over this. They're not rehashing this argument again.
Come on, this started with the day being 23 hours long when the dinosaurs were here. Okay, focus.
But days are getting longer, apparently.
Yeah. Do you think they had tough time with their sleep? Do you think the dinosaurs had a tough time with their sleep, growing crops?
Crops. Oh, do you mean
circadian rhythm?
You mean the Dinosaurs, the TV show? No, they grew crops pretty well. Gotcha.
Now I gotta be up. It's only 7 hours of sleep.
Fine. Did you know? In 1964, the game Operation was invented. And Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Holy shit.
Sometimes I don't understand.
That's crazy.
These facts.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question, though. Which one more important?
There's
only one still around.
Right. It would have been anybody in Operation would still be around. By the way, my point was I was going to say that perhaps this is a subtle nudge that the creators of Operation maybe should have been in the running for the Nobel Prize. That's all.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah?
Not at all.
No, they just they were loose on facts that day, and they're like, oh, well, hey, just so you know, Operation came out.
Better get that bread out of his bread basket.
Yeah, better get that bullet out of his liver.
Oh, you touched the side. He's dead. Sorry, Martin. Sorry, Martin. Wow.
You and all your friends are around like, oh, apparently this is a big civil rights leader. Be careful.
It's ridiculous.
Christ. Okay. All right. You guys ready to feel really old? Did you know the band Green Day formed a year after Lady Gaga was born? 1987.
Damn. It doesn't shock me. So, because I think... when did 3,000 Light Years Away came out in 93?
Same year I was?
So, say this again. One of you?
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No, your point is more important.
No, I was just doing the math in my head. I was like, hold up, I'm the same age as Lady Gaga, and I am, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. I just learned that today.
What I was saying is, so 3,000 Light Years Away, which wasn't their first album, but that was their first breakthrough, I think came out in 93. And, you figure the band, 6 years, usually to kind of get,
I just think it's odd that even now in the year 2025, and I know that Green Day is already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it just seems odd that probably the only decent active rock band like them, the Foo Fighters, like were basically their band formed like the same year as like one of the most recognized global musical icons available or of all time at this point. Because you can say what you want about Lady Gaga. I mean, she is what she is. I mean, it's like her and Taylor Swift, and like are going to sell out an arena everywhere they go. And just the fact that they weren't even alive and Green Day's already out there fucking pounding the streets. It's pretty fucking wild.
And I will say, I don't care what your opinion is. I think Dookie, across all genres of music, is like a top 20, 25 album 100%. Of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah. People talk shit on them because they're like, oh, they sold out. It's like, no, dude, I hate that fucking thing with the whole, they sold out. You mean everybody liked what they did so much so that they bought every fucking piece of material they released? Is that selling out, or is that just being dominant? Because how many people besides the people who loved punk knew what fucking like West Coast punk was until Green Day fucking put it on your radio?
Yeah. Or if that's the case, so fucking what? Fuck you. You would fucking sell out, you punk bitch. You would take those fucking millions of fucking dollars. There's fucking Momo.
Dream. My dream is to sell out.
God,
yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Oh, your morals and values. Fuck you. Yeah, I am washing away my morals and values in that fucking beautiful bed that I sleep in, and the fucking women that are flocking to me, and the caviar that they're eating off my fucking taint.
Listen, this is negotiable, but my values are for sale for $3 million.
Dude, how many times have I said if it wasn't for Kelly, I would be a fucking Latino conservative Republican grifter. I'd be rich as fuck. I'd be getting free Teslas. I'd be being like, deport these guys. I'd be fucking dressing up in fake ICE uniforms and shit. Be like, yeah, they'd love me. Fucking Tio Tomas, baby. That fucking Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom for the Latinos. Fucking give it to me. I would absolutely do that. I do not care. Pay me money, please.
Just keep saying "see" all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
See you later.
I'd get fucking photo ops with Trump shit shaking his hand. I'd be wearing the red hat. Like,
dude, I'm telling you, man.
Give that fucking dough cheese.
Primary season's coming up. There might be still time for you, buddy.
It's not too late. Dude. I mean, I think you could talk your old lady into like, hey, listen, this condo's nice, but how would you like 3 condos in one?
Dude, I've tried so many different angles. I've tried that angle. I've tried the starting a mega church / cult angle. She's not into it. She's more morally sound than me, which is why I'm with her. Honestly,
see, here's the thing. This is kind of the catch-22 here, is because she's only morally sound because she can't see the money. If she saw the money, I have a feeling
that's probably true. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
I think that
when you only see the idea of money, then the morals come into play. When you see the physical money,
that when she gets her eyes on that first grifter check, be like,
yeah.
So what do we got to do?
What are we doing?
It's happening. Yeah.
What are we doing? Basically,
she's tightening up Alan's red tie. He's like, go get him.
Yeah.
Go get him.
It's like basically either I'm a politician now or a conservative influencer. Fucking so like all types of outlandish takes and fucking
Alan.
Or I'm a fucking megachurch guy. Megachurch guy comes with a few perks though. I get to buy a whole lot of exorbitant things more so than the politician.
Then you got
the
work.
grifter.
Yeah, I think the church thing is more work. Than
the work is me talking, which is what I do anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I get to do it in like custom suits and fucking drive around. Like I'm gonna drive around like an old Cadillac. I'm not buying nothing new. Like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like very southern, but I'm gonna be up here. I'm not gonna be down south. It's very righteous gemstones, but here and not down south. I might even start talking a little bit more country.
Yeah, you're already doing it.
Yeah, I know. See, I was getting into
it. You're all off and now. Yeah. I'm telling Alan, if you want to join me for a conservative talk show, I really think if you just If you just started agreeing with me and steel manning my arguments for me, I think we'd have a fucking killer fucking beat.
I will absolutely do a fucking pilot episode of this.
Wes will ask us questions, and we will just go off the fucking rails.
Yeah. Like,
you guys give me the playbook. I'll read from the script. I won't deviate, and then the brakes truck will be backed up. And Callie will be like, "Oh, this isn't so bad."
And just use me. Like, I can say more racial slurs than you can. Like, all types of good stuff.
Getting a boner thinking about it.
You know what I mean? Get into some, like, eugenics. Get into fucking, like, all types of good stuff.
So, Alan, in your world, which cultures are the worst? Top 5. Starting at number 1.
Oh, it's got to be the blacks. It's starting at 1. I mean, it's just obvious reasons, right? What is it? Like 30% of the population, 50-something% of the crime, or some bullshit, whatever the numbers are. Like, look, you see, boom, we're into it. We're in. Next, it's the beaners. I lump in the land ones together, mostly the Mexicans and the Guatemalans, the Hondurans. Then
what's the difference between a land beaner and a water beaner?
I call them sea beaners. First of all, get it right. Totally different. They subsist off of different food. They want to take your job specifically. You know what I mean? The land one's not the sea beaners. Sea beaners are crabbers, clammers. You know, those kind of guys here in the Mid Atlantic in the Chesapeake. That's a problem.
Jesus Christ.
You think I'm fucking playing with you?
What was the fact?
Let's do it.
What was the fact? It was Green Day and their album.
Props to Green Day. We'll back pocket that one.
And finally, did you know we put men on the moon before we put wheels on luggage?
Damn. That
Didn't we
seems
have
silly.
a luggage one not too terribly long ago?
Well, we were talking about, I think it was Samsonite or somebody dropped like a piece of luggage, but they dropped it with a fucking...
Yeah.
With a parachute.
A parachute.
Yeah.
Swan.
Yeah. Man, a dude walked to the moon. He probably brought a piece of luggage. He's like, I just got to carry it all over the goddamn moon rocks. That's my shitty Neil Armstrong impersonation.
I got news for you guys, by the way. I'm starting to get... I don't know if it's the internet or what. I think NASA faked a lot of footage. I'm saying we didn't go. But I'm saying
no, they did 100%. 100%. They could not have created that much footage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't believe that we went to the moon, but I'm starting to have some more sympathy for moon hoaxers than I did before because of the internet and the amount of access you have to like footage where like is obviously not them doing shit. Like there's one of a spacewalk that like I'm like I could do this in the garage, man. Like because of how old we are, we've had plenty of exposure to what it looks like to see people in zero gravity, and this was not that. This was not that.
I could see that being more feasible than like some of the other stuff, but yeah.
We could see that. We 100% went to the moon multiple times.
Yeah,
but we 100% were like, damn, it's a lot of work to go to the moon, and it's also a lot of work to document it. These people aren't videographers. We might have to fucking doctor up a few things in order to make this a little more appealing to the masses. I 100% agree with that. And that feeds into the conspiracy. We're like, well, if that's fake, then the whole goddamn thing may have been fake. Well, if that's not true, which kind of pisses me off about the conspiracy theory of the moon, especially when you have like that guy who went up with a Bible to Buzz Aldrin, like, put your hand on this Bible and tell me you went on the moon. And Buzz Aldrin hit him, punched him.
Yeah, gave him a 80-year-old hook.
Yeah, the 80-year-old fucking very slow.
But I'll tell you what, though. I mean, Buzz Aldrin, for his age, still very spry. He was a dick in his day, though, man. Good God. Yeah. Arrogant prick. I mean, I guess you'd have to be arrogant to fucking strap yourself to fucking like 40 fucking dumpsters filled with rocket fuel and just some guy at the bottom lighting a match. No, he ain't coming back.
Yeah. Like not only that, like imagine just doing like the minute details is always the things that got me about that. Like, you know, the guys now are in fucking like Under Armour fucking spacesuits and they're fucking like moving and they can run and fucking jump. You know, that guy was in a fucking, this shit was made out of like burlap. A couple fucking layers of it with some tinfoil in between to stop the UV rays. Right? And it's just fucking stomping around in fucking steel toe boots and shit. Like, yeah, that was fucking wild shit.
It wasn't that far from the fucking Tin Man. It was not like this. Like, around.
It always reminded me of like, you guys ever see that Cuba Gooding and Robert De Niro movie? What's it called?
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor. There it is. Thank you. I always think of like the old diver suits. You know, they're just like big hunks of fucking bronze that they were like, all right, man, sew some burlap inside of those and fucking we're just going to drop them in the ocean.
Here's a little final fun fact for you. So up until Elon and SpaceX designed this latest suit, the NASA astronauts would go have their fingernails removed because if they didn't, the suit, the way their fingers are in the suit, it would rip their fingernails off. So they preferred to have it surgically done where it was more comfortable than have the suit take them off itself. Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, great time. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Getting declawed.
All right. We had a before you go, but we've ran over, so that's okay. We'll carry it over into next week. We got a This Week in Middle Classholes History. But first, Alan, tell all the people who are worried about space travel, the Wizard of Oz, Green Day, or anywhere that you can find the Middle Classholes.
Well, you can find me and Murr on our new podcast, Get 'Em Out is what it's called. It's just about brown people, really. Not me, obviously, because I sound like this. But the ones that don't sound like this, get them out of here. But if you want some more of this stuff, check us out. All your favorite social media pages. We're at MDL Classholes, Instagram, Twitter. We're the Middle Class. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and all that other fun stuff. And Keith, we're waiting on an email, buddy. Tickle our tongues at gmail.com.
Come on, Keith.
We're going to see Keith on Sunday too. So we're like, yeah.
And always remember,
All right.
Yeah.
And always remember this: we hold them down to lift you up.
Folks, we're going to leave you this This Week in Classholes History. This comes from 5 years ago in 2020, around the same time. A 36-year-old called the cops because her parents took her cell phone. I don't remember the bit. You guys have any
vague memory? Remember the story?
Wait, what was it?
A 36-year-old called the cops because her parents took her cell phone.
Oh, yeah, I do remember this. Vaguely,
let that one rattle around for a second.
Yeah. That's right. All right.
36 being the key here.
Yeah, it's, my parents did this. Enjoy. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. So our next story this evening comes from the Huffington Post. You know, that trusted publication on the intranets. About a 36-year-old woman, a 36-year-old Ohio woman, who got arrested for calling the cops on her parents for cutting her cell phone off. That's right. Cutting her cell phone off. 36-year-old woman. I believe her name is Saloni something Indian. I don't know. She's an Indian lady. An Indian young woman, if you will.
Saloni is Indian for salami, I think. I speak the native tongue here.
Gotcha.
That sounds like a bunch of baloney.
Hi-yo! But yes, the Stark County police were dispatched after she called 911 multiple times saying her phone was cut off. Her parents cut her cell phone service off. And multiple dispatchers told her to only call 911 if she had a legitimate problem. And she insisted and demanded the police come because her cell phone service being cut was a legitimate problem. And so they went there and they arrested her ass. And she was released on $2,500 bond. And I don't know if her parents paid it. Doesn't really say. I hope not. But yeah, she's a licensed realtor, and now she's got a mugshot that looks like shit, and she's in the Huffington Post. What do you guys think about this, man? 36.
I think that they will let anyone become a realtor. That's what I think about this story.
Oh my god. Oh god.
I was gonna say it doesn't take much to get your realtor license.
No, it's like $200 and like probably less than a GED knowledge base.
Right, and my gut tells me is that she probably crossed paths somewhere on social media with like, want to make millions?
Yeah,
I got the secret. Selling homes.
She went to a seminar at the Radisson. It was phenomenal, and it changed her life.
Right, they had free coffee.
It wasn't Tony Robbins.
No,
because he's a fucking saint.
Well, obviously, the realtor license isn't affording her enough money to pay her own cell phone bill. My question is this, though. Do you guys remember them teaching you 911? I'm just thinking if they even actually explain to people, because we all know 911, you call 911 for the police. Like, very few people realize that sometimes you just don't use that number, and no one knows how to get a hold of the cops. I'm not saying she's not a dumb twat or anything. I'm just saying, like, do they teach people, like, what 911's all about? Is there, like, I just don't know that that's a big bit of public information anymore.
Well, I don't know. I think that's a parental thing. Like, I think I might have done it when I was a kid, just because like I heard 911 and I was like, oh, I'm going to dial 911, and then the cops called back and were like, is everything okay? And my mom was like, well, Pat, you motherfucker, don't do that ever again unless there's an emergency.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So at what point, like, does it need to fucking be taught in schools? I guess.
We live in a stupid era, though.
Yeah,
so what constitutes emergency? That's the problem. To this bitch, emergency means I'm a licensed realtor. My clients can't call me now.
Yeah.
That's an emergency.
She's young, 1 year younger than me, and I come from an era not too distant from you, where 911 is reserved for the shit
bodily
moments,
harm, fires.
But you just said emergency.
I need assistance.
Yes,
from a professional that is trained in this.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this leads me to believe that not only, even though likely middle and high school were troubling for her on an academia standpoint, that she's not, feeling like nature versus nurture, that she's not too dumb to understand that. My gut tells me is that this isn't her first rodeo, Madison Bumgarner style. She's probably called the popo on the rents on a few other times. Like, my dad farted on me, or my mom ate all the cheese, or my blanket has a hole in it and they won't buy me a new one. I'm just like spitballing here.
I mean, that seems like a legitimate one if she was like a small child, but still.
What, being farted on? Christ, my dad farted on me all the time. Yes,
but the blanket thing, like, that seems neglectful. But no, she seems like a real piece of garbage.
And you guys got me cracking up. That post-up shot of her, that police mug shot.
The mug shot? Yeah, I gotta. We're gonna put that up too.
If you're gonna find a 36-year-old woman who still lives with her parents, picture in your mind, right, that she is not too far off from what you're thinking about.
Yeah,
you know, that type.
An uppity 36-year-old who still lives with her parents and they pay her cell phone bill, and she's a realtor. Imagine that. That's who this is.
Yeah.
What was her? And her first name was Salami.
It was Salami, carpal tunnel. It was something along those lines. But she's from Ohio, so.
Right? And $2,500 bail is what you pay 10% of that. Is that right?
Or
bond?
Well, there was a $2,500 bond was posted, so her bail was $25,000. Is what it was probably set at.
Shit.
It's probably set at $25,000 because that's abusing the emergency service, which is a 4th-degree felony. Yeah.
Fourth-degree felony?
It says right here, man, disrupting public services, a 4th-degree felony.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, because while she was getting tended to by probably 2 cop cars, because God forbid there's only one, fucking 2 people died. 100%.
Statistically speaking.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe 1.5.
And if she's convicted, does that mean she can't vote anymore? I'm hoping. That's the case.
Oh, absolutely. I think what kind of makes me a
that.
little giddy inside is that this is the simple kind of bitch that's going to go catch happy hour on the day she's supposed to be at the courthouse.
Right.
And
Right.
Dog the Bounty Hunter is going to beat the shit out of her one day on fucking A&E. It's going to be amazing.
She's going to go to a closing. She's going to get documents signed and take pictures with her clients and then take them for margaritas at Chili's and then go to jail.
I was going to say Applebee's, but
that's fair.
Tomato.
Fair.
Sure.
Applebee's too. Chili's, Applebee's. It's the same thing, slightly Tex-Mexy.
Yeah, right. And so,
go ahead.
How many times have you guys called 911? Have you ever called 911 for a legitimate reason?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
a couple times.
I think twice legitimately. Once these guys at a party at Frostburg were basically wanted to a group of people wanted to fight our group of people, and it was coming to a stalemate. And I drunkenly said, "I'll call the cops," and I did.
Go.
Yeah, it was
weird.
Pretty stupid.
That's
of me.
pretty dumb of you. Yeah, that seems stupid.
The cops showed up to an illegal house party. But
nobody crushed you for that one. Did you? This is the first time he's spoken it out loud.
Yeah, slaying for that one a little bit. Yeah.
No, so when I was a kid, later after I fucked with it, and my mother was like, "Don't do that unless it's an emergency." I did call when I was little again because my mother was choking on a fish bone because we're Latinos and we like to eat whole fish instead of just getting them fucking filleted like normal people.
Pull like an Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, yep.
Right?
She got all those little like,
ribs.
hairline bones stuck in her throat. Yeah, so I called the ambulance for that one. She's fine, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the second time was at my mother's house. I was still living at my mother's house, and my grandmother was staying with us, my dad's mom, who used to like come back and forth from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
She would compile things to take home. So she'd take like clothes and stuff and she'd sell them off. She had like a little like flea market style business. So anyway, long story short, she used to use a space heater, plopped one of those boxes on that space heater cord, and lit the entire fucking third floor on fire almost. It destroyed that room. Like she wasn't even home. She was fine. And then the room that used to be mine when I was like a teenager upstairs, that one like had pretty much a whole wall redone because everything was warped like from the heat. Yeah, like they recarpeted 2 floors of my parents' house.
Yeah.
Like re-drywalled everything. Like it was insane.
What
they
shit?
got new beds. Like because there was smoke damage into the basement.
Yeah.
And it was contained upstairs. But yeah,
damn,
it was insane. So we were like, we were out of the house for a while. We lived in a rental for like almost 6 months.
What's shit in Spanish?
Mierda.
Mierda. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it was wild, bro. That was some crazy.
That's a little vowel-y. That's a little too much. Like shit. Like I just feel like I'm working too much for that one.
There's so many. Like you keep in mind, I mean, I say it very Caucasian-y. I don't have a great Latin accent.
Okay.
You know, I was born here.
Wait,
there's no.
Was that racist in some way? Very
yes.
Caucasian-y?
I think so.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate swindler here.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. But yeah, like real Spanish speakers say that with ease.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There are those vowel combinations that really just make one sound. Yeah.
There was about 4 years ago. There was when I was living on Scott Street. There was a domestic dispute taking place early in the AM, where the female was screaming, "Call the police!" Mm-hmm. So I did, and it had dispersed by the time. It didn't take very long.
Yeah,
cops showed up, and I went out and said, "This is what I saw." And then guy, it was an elderly VA patient. I don't know if he escaped from the Veterans Hospital. Had fallen and broken his ankle not too far from where I lived, where I grew up. And he said, "You need to call the police, call an ambulance." So I ran home and did a good civic duty.
Were you a wee child?
I was about 10, 11.
Okay.
Yeah. No one was home. I actually called my parents before I called the police.
You were like, "Hey, should I call the ambulance for this weirdo?"
Hey, mom, I think this guy is really hurt. I wanted to call the ambulance. Can I do it, please? That's how paranoid I was about calling 911.
She was like, "No,
no, yeah,
don't do it. It's a trap."
Because I've called probably. I'm not exaggerating. I think I've called at least a dozen times in my life.
Holy
too.
shit, bro! Yeah, I think.
No, I'm like Mr. Magoo with 20/20 vision. Like bad shit's happening around me, and I see it, unfortunately. And like just several accidents, I've called for that. But the last 2 times, I've called twice in the last 2 years. One of them, some guy walking down the mean streets of Elkton was ODing like a motherfucker, just fucking convulsing. The only reason I called too, I would have ignored him because he's a junkie, but he was actually like not passed out, but he was convulsing in front of the mailbox I was trying to deliver mail to. So I couldn't pull up to put the mail in the box. So I was like, fuck, all right, I'm going to call. No, he was like, you know the YouTube videos of like the Baltimore zombies that are like just flailing around, their arms like they're going to dislocate like a shoulder. He was doing that on the ground, man. Oof. And I actually, it was like a comedy routine with me and the 911 operator, though. I had her cracking the fuck up trying to describe this guy. And then the last time there was some, I was driving by, and it was in a parking lot. It was actually at the Big Elk Mall, and the mulch was on fire. And I had gotten out, and I tried to stomp the fire out, and that just like made the flames go higher. And so I called 911 and talked to them. I'm waiting. I'm sitting by the fire. I'm waiting. I shit you not, there's a fucking like Econoline van of all these like Catholics that are on some kind of church trip, and the priest gets out, and he's got like an armful of all the half-drank bottles of water, and he comes out and he starts pouring it real nice and slow over the fire, and the fire's going out, and I can hear the fire engine barreling down the road, and finally I start like yelling at this priest. I'm like, no, don't put it out. Stop. What are you doing? It's all good. So all the holy water is diminishing the flames of hell, and then when the fire truck gets there, there's no fire. And I have to explain what has happened and why I'm the asshole that bothered them on a Sunday afternoon.
Damn. That's a good story.
Damn.
I'm going to write that in a book.
Yeah. Mulch is tricky. I would have called on that too.
Yeah. No, it was when I slammed like this big plastic tub that we used like for mail. As soon as I slammed it down, it was like somebody just dumped lighter fluid on a charcoal grill. Whoosh, like burn half my eyebrows off. And I'm like, okay, we're justified. Let's dial 911. Let's call him up. And then the holy man comes out and prays the flame away.
See, it's funny. So you mentioned that, and I have a story where I didn't call 911, but mulch was on fire in my buddy's neighborhood back when I was in high school. And there was a girl who lived up the street who was friends with us, and we had just like walked her home, and we're walking back. And this giant pile of mulch was definitely smoking. We were like, that seems tricky. And she was like a volunteer firefighter, so we called her and we're like, hey, this is a problem. And she was like, nah, it's fucking fine. Let it go. And we were like, well, fuck it. We were a little drunk. We were like, I don't know, 17, 18 years old. So we were like, we're not going to call. She was right. Turned out she was fine. So I guess she was a decent volunteer firefighter. Or that could have lit a blaze, and, something could have happened.
Maybe she's just looking out for your well-being.
Maybe she's just like, why don't you just get the fuck out of there with your drunk ass? Don't touch that.